Gasparilla Music Festival here 2020, and fresh off the main stage from Atlanta, Georgia, Curtis Harding.
Yo.
Hey, by the way, man, we've been hot on your trail for a couple of years. This feels so good to get you out here at Gasparilla Music Festival.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here, man. I appreciate it.
You've been doing some great things for a while now, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They have been great. You're right.
That set was incredible. You know, look, I've read up on you a little bit. I've seen some interviews. I know you're a confident man, but you brought it there, man. You brought it.
Oh, thank you, man. You know, it's a labor of love. I put my heart and soul into what I do. But thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, I love it. Hey, real quick, it would if I didn't take the opportunity, first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about who we are, because we're a nonprofit music festival.
I do know that.
Yeah, so hopefully you know a little bit about our mission through Recycle Tunes, which is getting instruments into the hands of children. You know, also getting young musicians paid gigs through some of our programming at Sparkman's Wharf and other places here around Tampa. But look, I know you grew up, I think, heavily influenced. Your mother was a gospel singer.
My mother is a gospel singer.
Gospel singer, yes. Correct. So talk about, you know, as a young person, kind of your journey into knowing, like, hey, I want to be a musician.
Well, I did want to be a musician growing up because I saw everything that goes along with, like, the music business growing up. Because my mother's a gospel singer, because I grew up around musicians, so I kind of saw that. So music was, like, something that I felt like I fell back on, actually. But in a good way, because I could have went the whole other direction if I didn't have music. You know, like my mother, she made sure that that we all were like steeped in church, but at the same time, she allowed us to be ourselves. So she was very liberal in that sense. So I was able to explore different genres and different ideas of what like music cultivation was. So I think that is very important. What you guys are doing, and it's definitely needed for sure.
Well, and again, just being a nonprofit music festival, it's just rare you don't see it. We're proud of it, but we're proud that you're here today. I've been dying to ask you this question all day. So there's got to be one artist in your life that your family didn't introduce you to, that when you heard this artist, you were almost like, Mom, Dad, you know, why didn't you tell me this existed? This is changing my life.
Speaking of changes, probably David Bowie.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's terrific.
Yeah. When I discovered David Bowie for the first time, the Starman, I was like, oh my God. Like, what is this? Why didn't I know about this guy? You know, and like, yeah, that's the one.
That's awesome. That's great.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've got a 4-year-old daughter, and I played David Bowie to her all the time. It's just funny to hear her talk about it. But Atlanta is again, not so far from Tampa, so I spent a lot of time there, and I love the town. I feel like it's a very progressive town in a lot of ways. Whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, it almost feels like as far as the Southeast goes, right? The capital of the South, it's Atlanta. Yeah. Tell me about working, gigging in Atlanta. Maybe some of the up and coming artists there. What is Atlanta like today?
Very gentrified.
Yeah.
But Atlanta still has like a community of musicians that are kind of like a eclectic melting pot of just like different, strange, beautiful people. And it's always been like that. Like whether you're in a punk band, whether you're in a soul band, whether you're in a rap group, we all kind of like hang out in the same places and we help each other, you know, to reach our musical goals.
I'd be scared to death to ever try to put a label on you. So what is your band?
My band?
Yeah.
My band is me. You know, my band is like whatever I feel at the moment.
But so I can tell, at least from a production element,
we can't have any boxes. We can't have any boxes.
No,
man.
yeah. So, but again, I could never do it. I could never do it after becoming a fan of your music. I wouldn't even want to. Like to call it, soul music, and God forbid somebody ever call you neo soul music. That would be very depressing.
Well, it happens, but like soul, I don't think is a bad thing because anyone can have soul. There's soul in math rock, there's soul in punk, there's soul in there's soul in anything, man. It's like, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's like you don't even necessarily have to be a singer to have soul. I know you've seen some guy that was just cool as hell, that it looks like he had a story to tell. It's like that, he might not be a musician, but he has soul, you know what I'm saying? So soul is just something that's like all-encompassing, universal.
That's true. I've listened to, industrial music that's got soul, right?
Yeah.
So,
who are you listening to right now?
All kinds of stuff, man. I just finished my third LP, so I try not to listen to too much stuff while I'm recording. But I go back. There's this band that I've actually started listening to, this South African band I think they're called Amaza or something like that. So I've been listening to a lot of like African like rhythms and like music and stuff lately, and along with like the new stuff that's coming out. Let me think if I can think of yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, like because I don't want to go into like.
So when's the third LP come?
Soon.
How soon?
Very soon.
Well, you got music. You got new music out
this
right
year.
now.
This year.
Yeah, you got new music out right now, which is great. But that's I mean, you're on kind of a pretty prolific pace right now, right? So album one was like what, 2014?
Yeah, it was
right?
like 2013,
Yeah.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So
2017, second record, and like 2020 would be.
All right, I got to ask this question for this guy. What was it like working with Danger Mouse?
It was a dream come true.
How'd that happen? How'd that happen?
I know him from, because I used to sing backup for CeeLo, and tour with him for a long time. And like when it came around for them to do that Donald Sparkley project, I was kind of just like around, in the studio. I was like a fly on the wall, kind of just soaking up all of that energy and all of that knowledge. And that's how I met Brian. And I randomly, 10 years later, ran into him like walking down the street in New York. I was like, "Oh, Brian, what's up? How have you been?" And he was like, "Dude, I've been fine. What have you been doing?" And it was like, I put a record out since we've been hanging out. He was like, "Oh, you know what? I really like one of your songs." I was like, "Dude, I would love to work with you at some point." And he gave me his number. We kept in contact. We started sharing different music stuff that we were listening to at the time. And then when it came to record, like he was super down.
So I've heard you're a little bit of a self-described kind of control freak.
Yeah.
And maybe especially evident on your first record. Evident on your first record that was all you, right? You're pulling every string there.
Pretty much.
What was it like? Maybe taking a more of a collaborative approach and kind of letting in some other voices into the creative conversation.
It was great, man, because I think anytime that you open yourself up to collaborating with someone, and actually musicians and people that are better than you learn so much and you get so much better. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a selfish thing for me to do, to like work with someone that I like, that I look up to. It's like, dude, I'm learning and I'm like adding that to my repertoire, like with everything that I have. So it was great. It was awesome.
Do you write everything on the guitar, or do you sometimes it is maybe a melody?
It just depends.
Follows,
Lately, I've been writing a lot of stuff on piano and on bass.
Great.
But for the most part, guitar is the main go-to instrument that I write stuff on.
It's again, and we don't want to keep you. This is awesome. Yeah. We were hot on your heels last year, man. Every day I'd call up one of our founding members, Phil, and be like, "Hey, man,
Well, I'm glad you guys.
Do we know?
I'm glad you guys locked me down, man, because this is
that was a heck
awesome.
of a set. That was a hell of a set. So touring plans. What's going on right now? Obviously, are you just going back to working on the record?
We have no record's done. Record needs to be mastered, artwork. So, but like I said, this year sometime.
That's awesome.
It'll be out. Touring plans. We have tour scheduled for North America in September.
Awesome.
And October. And then we have some European dates coming up that we're booking now. Hopefully we'll have a single out by next month sometime for the new album.
And then you go on tour September, you said?
Yeah.
So September?
Yeah, September.
September would be LP3.
So one last question. The industry has changed a lot since I've been involved in music, since Mikey and I were doing college radio back in the 90s. It's just changed a ton, right?
Yeah.
The vehicles of how you deliver your message, get promoted, get in front of people. Obviously, coming to a festival, that's great. You get in front of a bunch of people that didn't know about you and what you're all about. What has changed as far as, I don't want to call it marketing, but just getting your name out there and your music in front of people? What part do you love about it, and what part do you hate?
The part that I love about it is that you don't really need a machine to push you.
Yeah.
You have social media, such as like platforms like Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, or whatever. A lot of people are being discovered just by doing it themselves, very DIY approach. The part that I hate about it is that it can be very contrived. And that's not saying that the music business has not been contrived before, but even more so now.
Yeah.
But part of that is beautiful because it's like, it's escapism. People can be whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
But the other bad part is that people, including myself, we all have some form of ADD to where we're not able to focus very long on, like on a whole album or like, a complete project. It's just like, oh, that's the hot song right now. On to the next one, on to the next one. So it's kind of just like throwing away music in a very fast form, So, it is what it is. It's a double-edged sword.
Yep. Mikey, you got anything?
good.
All right. I love what you're doing with your platform. I love what you're doing with your music. We can't wait to hear the third LP.
Thank you, Ben.
But most of all, we are thrilled that you were here at Gasparilla Music Festival 2020.
I'm
you slayed. And you killed it, and you destroyed it.
We have conquered!
Well, look, if you don't feel good about what you did up there, I promise you, we caught some of the set, then we were back here for some of the set. You sounded great back here.
I'm still young. I'm pretty. I hit hard. You know what I'm saying? You see me? You see these things right here? I'm coming for you, baby. I'm coming for you.
Curtis Harding, thank you so much, man. Seriously, we are thrilled, overjoyed, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm out.